Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Versatility Podcast. Welcome back. For today's episode, we're going to be recapping week 8 of the NFL season, going over my week 9 predictions, college football, last couple weeks, a couple albums to review, and let's just get straight to it. But before we get to that, of course, let's do the final recap of baseball. As we all know, the World Series wrapped up this weekend with the Rangers and the Diamondbacks game 5 ending on Wednesday. And so, of course, the World Series champions for 2023 belongs to the Texas Rangers. So, congratulations to the Texas Rangers. They defeated the Houston Astros in the championship series. And now they defeated the Diamondbacks in the World Series in 5 games, 5-0. They win game 5. The Rangers this season had expectations to make the playoffs, had expectations to probably take over the division, maybe. Some people had, doubts because the Astros, of course, are in the same division as the Rangers, so not many people were expecting the Rangers to climb up the ranks with the Astros and be as competitive, but they were expected to be at the very least, a playoff team, and who knows, even the Mariners were, after making the playoffs last year, they were, highly they were definitely one of those teams that people saw them making the playoffs as well. And like 2 years ago, they lost like 100 games. So the fact that they went from 2021 losing 100 something games, winning only 60, to then now winning the World Series, picking up pieces, paying enough for their players, and their bullpen has been incredible this whole postseason. They're top of the lineup with Seager. Corey Seager. What the hell do I got to say about Corey Seager? That man's an absolute beast. He's a future Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Now he's a 2-time World Series champion with the Rangers, and now with the Dodgers in 2020, now with the Rangers. And, of course, he won both World Series MVPs for both tournaments. Evan Carter also had a great postseason. Jonah Heim. Marcus Semien did not have a great postseason, but the last 3 games or 2 games of the World Series, he went off. He had a home run in game 5. He had 2 RBIs, 5 plate appearances. Yeah, the Diamondbacks, they were kept striking out. The Rangers pitching was way too much for them, so they just couldn't, deal in all throughout this whole series. But throughout the postseason, they were a surprise team to make it here, anyways, right? Did a lot of people have the Diamondbacks making it to the World Series? Certainly, I didn't, and certainly a lot of people didn't as well. So, congratulations to the Texas Rangers. I'm just glad that the Astros did not win the World Series. I've said that multiple times. I've already said on the podcast. I've said it, in general. So that's that. And we don't got no baseball until March, till spring training March. Nothing's really been going on. Obviously, the parade, I believe, was a couple days ago. I believe it was on Friday or on Thursday was the parade in Arlington, Texas. I think it was a couple news. I heard that Joey Votto is retiring. Nelson Cruz is retiring. So those, 2023 were their last seasons. Also, I've been hearing a lot about this Japanese pitcher. I've been seeing right here, Yamamoto. He finally pitched his last game in Japan, and then he's potentially coming to America and getting signed to, I believe, people are mostly picking up or saying that the Yankees might picking up the Red Sox. We'll see who ends up picking up this this next Ohtani, maybe, except as a pitcher, because we're not going to see Ohtani pitch this season because of his shoulder injury. So he's only going to be hitting, as we only know he's going to be pitching in 2025, but not next season. So I don't know if he's going to be the next guy, the next Japanese superstar after Ohtani. So we'll see what happens there. But that's that for baseball. Let's talk about soccer. Yes, soccer. I have not watched the playoffs, but I have been keeping up the scores because that's what I do every goddamn day. But let's go back all the way to, I believe, the first rounds or the last couple rounds of the. We're still in the first round because this is like a best of 3 series. Again, I talked about on the last episode. There's a best of 3. They changed the format now. So let's go back all the way to last Saturday, which Philly won that game 3-1 against New England, against what is the New England team called again? The Revolution. And then LAFC, they defeated Vancouver 5-2. Then on Sunday, we had 3 games with the Dynamo beating Real Salt Lake, Cincinnati defeating the Red Bulls, New York Red Bulls, and then Sporting Kansas City defeating St. Louis 4-1. Also on Monday, we had 2 games with Orlando taking down Nashville 1-0, Seattle winning game 1 against Dallas 2-0, and then on Wednesday, Columbus gets the win against Atlanta, and then we had two games yesterday. One ended up ending in a penalty shootout, which was tied 1-1 after regulation, and then they go to a penalty shootout with Cincinnati coming out on top 8-7 against the Red Bulls. So they won both games. So Cincinnati, they move on to the second round. Dallas, they win game 2, so there will be a game 3 between Dallas and Seattle. And then today there's going to be 2 games, Sporting KC, St. Louis, and then Vancouver versus LAFC. This is game 2 over there. When does Philly play? They play on Wednesday against New England. So, yeah, Miami's not there. Obviously, they're not a great team. And, we won't be seeing Messi play for a little while. So, yeah, Philly is the team that I'm going to be rooting for in the meantime. So yeah, let's go Philly. Let's do this shit. All right. Now let's get to college football, because this week was kind of off-putting, and even last week I didn't even recap the games from last week. So again, let's just go all throughout the games. I mean, I'm not going to recap every single game because that's just way too many. So let's just briefly look at the scores from the past 2 weeks of college ball. FIU lost this game on Wednesday on the 25th. I think I already recapped that. Okay, so let's talk about the Saturday games from last week. So we had Georgia against Florida, and well, not a shocker. Georgia dominates the Florida Gators, and Georgia is they remained at number 1 that week, but then eventually they got down to number 2 after Ohio State ended up going number 1 after week 9, I believe. This was week 9. This week, yesterday's slate of games was week 10. So we're going back to the last week of slate of games. And then we had Ohio State defeating Wisconsin 24-10. Florida State, are they going to make the college football playoffs in January? Well, I mean, they're fighting for it. Are they going to be in a bowl game, or are they going to be fighting for a playoff spot? We'll see. I mean, only 4 teams can make it, so I don't know. It's going to be tough, but they're 8-0. They're right now, I believe, 3rd or 4th still. But right here, they were still ranked 4th. Washington, they get the win against Stanford. Not the best game for their defense. But Penix Jr. balls out. He's probably the Heisman this year. I mean, my goodness, he's been ridiculous. And then yesterday's game, again, proves that once again, because they played yesterday against USC. And we'll talk about that game when we get there. Oklahoma, they lose to Kansas 38-33, and yeah, Oklahoma, they're still ranked number 6, but after losing to Arkansas, I thought they were going to fall off to the top 8. I think they were going to make it to like 10, 11, but they're still in the top 6, so that's interesting. Texas, they defeat BYU. As expected, BYU is not that great. Oregon defeats Utah 35-6. My goodness, that wasn't even close. Penn State defeats Indiana 33-24. Arizona upsets Oregon State. Ole Miss gets the win against Vanderbilt. Notre Dame demolishes Pittsburgh. Georgia Tech defeats North Carolina, an upset in North Carolina, man. Isn't that 2 straight losses for North Carolina? My goodness. They got to get it together. Louisville gets the win against Duke. Air Force, they beat Colorado State and still 8-0 and 19th ranked right now after I mean, they have not lost a game, and they've been 5-0 in the Mountain West Conference. Again, they haven't really played anybody, but they're still undefeated. Or actually, I believe they lost yesterday, but we'll check the score in a second. Tennessee, they defeat Kentucky 33-27. Tulane beats Rice. Unfortunately, Colorado gets another loss to UCLA. UCLA, they remain ranked in the top 25. They're ranked 23rd here. They get the win. Ethan Gabers, that's his name, that's the quarterback for UCLA. All right, he had 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception. All right, boom. USC had a battle against California. This game almost had 100 points, but it just fell short. 99 points they put up, or both teams put up combined, 50-49. And it could have been 101 points if California ended up getting the 2-point conversion at the end. But USC almost would have lost 4 straight games. Yeah, USC, man. Caleb Williams is still that guy. I want this man to be in a probably. What would I want to be him? What would I want to see Caleb Williams get drafted at? Not New England, because I don't want him in our division. The Cardinals, I wouldn't mind seeing Caleb Williams in a Cardinals uniform. That should be interesting. But then, are they still gonna? Are they still wanting Kyler Murray? I mean, he's coming back soon, so I don't know if they really want to stick with him. The Texans already got C.J. Stroud. The Panthers, they're still looking at Bryce Young, and they're still saying that he's probably our guy. He's been getting better. We'll see where Caleb Williams ends up going, but I don't mind. I don't mind him seeing in Arizona. Excuse me. James Madison, they're still undefeated. Yes, 3-0. Army, they lose to Massachusetts. All right, I mean, they're okay. We're just gonna go past these games because there's just not much to hear. Jesus Christ, SMU defeats Tulsa 69-10. Nice. Auburn gets the win against Mississippi State. Miami gets the win against Virginia in overtime, and then they lost yesterday. This Miami Hurricanes team is just frustrating to watch, and their quarterback is just terrible. UTSA beats East Carolina. Arizona State defeats Washington State. Oklahoma State defeats Cincinnati. All right. That's enough for last week. Now let's talk about the games from yesterday. For this past week. All right, Halloween, we had a couple games, but no one really watched these games because we were too busy trick-or-treating or scaring kids on Tuesday night or just watching sports like me. Wednesday games, we had Bowling Green, Ball State. Yep, that was that. Thursday, we had TCU losing to Texas Tech, Duke defeating Wake Forest, Troy defeating South Alabama 28-10. Okay. And then Friday, we had 2 games. Boston College defeating Syracuse, Wyoming getting the win against Colorado State. Then here we go. The games from yesterday. Ohio State getting the win against Rutgers, 35-16. Georgia getting the win against Missouri, 30-21. So now Georgia is ranked number 2. Ohio State number 1. The playoff rankings, I believe the pre-show is going to be on Tuesday night. Because last week they did the top 25 rankings on Tuesday night, so they're going to probably do it again this Tuesday instead of giving out the official rankings, because they usually do it the day after. They usually do it like in between the slated games for the NFL today, but they're going to wait until Tuesday because now playoff implications. There's only like how many weeks of college football? Like 5 weeks? Like 4 or 5 weeks. By December, it's bowl season, so it's not going to be and championship weekends as well. They have like 2 regular season, or 3, I believe. I think most teams play like 12, 13 games. I mean, most teams have already played 9 or 10 games at this point, so they have a couple games left. But we pretty much have an idea of which teams are going to make it and which teams are not. But we'll see. For the title games, should be interesting in early December, but we still got a month. So, but time, is flying by. Michigan gets the win against Purdue. Not a surprise there. Also, Florida State gets the win against. Why does my computer do that? Why does it just 24-7? Washington defeats USC 52-42. Both teams' defenses are not great, especially USC, allowing 52 points. Michael Penix Jr. had a pretty good game, but talk about a really good game. Their running back, Johnson, had 26 carries, 256 yards, and 4 goddamn touchdowns. Michael Penix Jr. just ran the ball, and that was the day. He didn't have to do much in this game. And also explains how that USC defense is also garbage. So, yeah, Washington, I want this team to make it to the playoffs. I mean, either Florida State or Michigan is going to have to ball out to prevent Washington from going, because they're right now number 5, so they're borderline in the playoffs. I'm thinking Georgia, I'm thinking Michigan, Ohio State, and then Washington, and then probably Florida State. They might they're might gonna have to like just get out because Florida State, the ACC is not comparable to the Pac-12 this year. The Pac-12 has been ridiculous with the amount of talent. There's like 8 teams in the Pac-12 in the top 25, and just that's conference alone. Like, and some teams are out of the top 25 that were in the top 25 earlier in the season, Colorado. But obviously, they're mediocre. They're not that great of a team. Obviously, they're just a solid overall team. I mean, we know that they have talent and shit, but they're not USC. They're not Washington. They're not even Oregon. And Oregon, speaking of Oregon, goddamn 37 career rushing touchdowns for Bo Nix. He's been in college before I even got to high school. That's wild. I graduated high school 2 years ago. I started high school 6 years ago. And he's still in college. Bo Nix, please leave. Leave, man. Do you want to get drafted? He's trying to be Stetson Bennett and just stay in college for like his entire life. He wants to spend all of his 20s, I guess, there. Fuck the NFL, I guess. But my goodness, yeah, Bo Nix, 37 career rushing touchdowns. He already leads. He's already played like the most games in college ever. So yeah, he just might want to stay in Oregon. He just doesn't think the NFL is that capable for him. Texas defeats Kansas State 33-30. Alabama gets light work against LSU. Jaden Daniels, the quarterback for LSU, he got hurt in this game, and I believe it was due to a concussion. If I'm mistaken, it was a concussion protocol, so they got him out of the game. But yeah, 4 touchdowns for Jalen Milroe for Alabama, and their offense kept rolling in. So yeah, Alabama, they're not a playoff team, but they're winning a bowl game for sure this year. Like whoever they play, they're winning a bowl game. Alabama's a great team. Yeah, they're not gonna win a natty this year, but we've already seen them win natties before. We're kind of tired of Alabama dominating. We need new teams now. There's teams on the rise right now. Alabama's still a very good team, but they're not the top dogs at the moment. Oklahoma State defeats Oklahoma. Big game there. Dylan Gabriel gets the win gets the loss, excuse me, because he is the quarterback for Oklahoma. 7-2 for both teams now. So yeah, congratulations to OSU, and then Ole Miss defeats Texas A&M 38-35. Penn State gets the win against Maryland. Notre Dame, they lose to Clemson. Yep, Notre Dame. They have 3 losses in the season. Notre Dame is such a confusing team to me. They're 7-3. They're a good team. But what the hell happened, dude? This Hartman dude, 146, 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes. Yep. Notre Dame at this point should not be a top 25 team. If they are like at least 22 or 23, like why are they still 15th? They're gonna fall. They're gonna fall in the rankings because my goodness, losing to an unranked Clemson team, which again, Clemson is not the Clemson when Deshaun Watson was there 7 years ago. This isn't the 2018, 2017, Clemson Tigers. This is a mid Clemson team that they lost to. So yeah, Notre Dame. Who do they play against next week? 7-3, and who do they play? They have like how many games? 2 more games. Wake Forest and then Stanford. They could beat both teams, but is that really gonna do much for y'all? I don't know. All right, and then of course, Colorado. They now have a losing record. They're 4-5, and they get the loss against Oregon State. They're 7-2 now. Their offense was abysmal for the first 3 quarters. They somehow got a safety in the third quarter because the Oregon State, they attempted for 2 points, which ended up being a fumble recovery that they went 97 yards for 2 points. Yep, you heard that. A 97-yard safety. Not a pick six or a fumble recovery touchdown. No, they went 97 yards, almost the entire length of the football field. for 2 points. Yep, that's what happened. So yeah, and then they tried to score. They had 14 points in the fourth quarter, but at that point, you play better the first 3 quarters, so that way in the fourth quarter you don't have to score 7 goddamn touchdowns or you hurt yourself too much there to try to come back and win the game. UConn, my goodness, they got smoked by Tennessee, 59-3. Yikes. Utah also annihilates Arizona State, 55-3. Arizona gets the win against UCLA. Upset alert, 6-3. Both teams are now 6-3. Yeah, big win for Arizona. There he goes. Army, they defeated Air Force. So as I said, Air Force like 10 minutes ago, they were 8-0 and they lose their first game to Army. And they got destroyed, dude. They scored 3 points. They were dog shit. Bro, the quarterback didn't even get 100 yards total. He only had 93 yards, two interceptions. Yikes. Yikes, man. What happened? Air Force, their chances are pretty much they're done. Kansas defeats Iowa State. Tulane defeats East Carolina. Oh, that's a touchdown for Kansas City. All right. It's 13-0. It's 13-0. Yeah, who was that? McKinnon? Oh, there's a flag. There's a flag though. Hold on. Sorry guys. I'm watching the Germany, the Dolphins Chiefs game at the moment. But we'll get there. We'll get there in a second. We're almost done here. Indiana, Wisconsin, 20-14 win for Indiana there. They counted as a touchdown. Yep, it's a touchdown. Yeah. Let me see the play real quick. They had on. They didn't give a flag. What was that? There was no PTI? Not PTI, PI, excuse me. What PTI is not a thing. Yep, Chiefs up 14-0. All right. Michigan State get the win against Nebraska, South Carolina, North Carolina bounce back. They destroy Campbell 59-7. And all these games, yeah, you could see here. My goodness, Memphis, they defeat South Florida 59-50. Jesus, high scoring ass game. Houston defeats Baylor 25-24. James Madison wins. There's 9-0 on the season. Coastal Carolina, Old Dominion. Auburn defeats Vanderbilt 31-35. Okay, all right. All these games are kind of I didn't watch, so yeah, you could just look at the scores for yourself. Miami, they lose to NC State 20-6, so now we're 6-3. We're gonna be in a bowl game this year, but I've lost all faith on this team. Anyways, let's talk about it. Let's recap week 8 of the NFL season. Week 8 was a pretty interesting week. I did well in my picks. What was my record? I believe I was 12-4. There was no bye weeks. There was no teams on bye last week, I believe. So all 32 teams played. All 16 games happened last week. If I'm not mistaken, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Yes. However, this week 4 teams are on bye, so that means there'll be 12 games. 14 games. Excuse me, 14 games and 28 teams in action. So yeah, that's what that is. But let's go over week 8 real quick. Let me just check how much time we're on right now. All right, 24 minutes. 24 minutes. We got time. We got time. Buccaneers Bills was a Thursday night football game. The Bills defeating the Buccaneers 24-18. Again, a bounce back win for the Bills. They needed this. Buccaneers slow start. Baker Mayfield is back to being a mediocre quarterback. Nothing surprising there. Let's talk about the shittiest game of the season so far when it comes to offense. That was legit non-existent. The New York Jets defeated the Giants 13-10. The fact that there even was a touchdown in this game is shocking because this game, not even Red Zone even covered much of this game. They covered the fourth quarter and overtime because it's overtime. and it's the fourth quarter. But I was watching Red Zone, and this game was just completely just hitting it, just hiding from coverage. I mean, nothing was going on. If you love punts, this game was for you. There was like a combined 24, 25 punts or whatever in this game. Awesome. Amazing. Yeah, ugly ass win for the Jets. They get the job done. There's a touchdown. Brees Hall in the first quarter. So Zach Wilson actually threw a touchdown to their running back Brees Hall. Tyrod Taylor got hurt, only had 8 yards in the game. Then Tommy DeVito for the New York Giants came in. He had negative 9 yards. Yep, that's what they got. They got negative 9 yards. That's how they ended their game. The Giants' offense this year is borderline, not even borderline. It is just terrible. My goodness, that's a punishment for us to hear, man. I mean, oh, I'm sorry. There was actually 2 touchdowns in this game. The fact that this game had 2 touchdowns with like 24 punts is wild. That's actually insane. Wow, that's remarkable. Yeah, there's nothing much to highlight. If you were watching this game, I'm sorry, you fell asleep. You took like 6 naps watching this game. This is why I choose Red Zone, because imagine just sticking to watching this game. Couldn't be me. Jets, congrats on a very ugly win, but you got the job done. You won the game, so congratulations. But that was not it. What the hell? There we go. Yeah, that was pitiful. Let's just move on to the next game. Next, we got the Jaguars defeating the Steelers 20-10. I thought the Steelers were gonna do more defensively, but the Jaguars' offense is noted. It's pretty good. Trevor Lawrence 292 yards, a touchdown, an interception. Travis Etienne had 24 carries and 79 yards. Let me just stretch real quick. Evan Ingram had 10 receptions, 88 yards as well. Mitch Trubisky came into action after Kenny Pickett got hurt, and Mitch Trubisky looked like a shell of himself, because that's what Mitch Trubisky is. 138 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. Yeah, the Steelers offense, once again, didn't do nothing. Johnson, I believe, had a touchdown on this game. Or not this one. George Pickens had a touchdown on this game. My bad. I think it was Johnson who had a touchdown in last game against or last week. But it was something that he didn't have a touchdown for like almost 20 games or something in a row. Finally got a touchdown, I believe, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago at this point. George Pickens had a touchdown, though, late in the third quarter. But again, the Pittsburgh defense, this is why the Steelers are 4-3 because of their defense. Their offense has just not done much at all, man. It's just been rough. And Kenny Pickett, again, like I thought he was gonna break out this year. But he's just been super inconsistent. Jacksonville is still striding. They're one of the best teams in the AFC, in the NFL. They're at least a top 8 team, top 5, if probably, in the NFL at the moment. This Jaguars team is getting hot at the right moment. They're clicking on all cylinders. Yeah, let's not fuck with Jacksonville, please, because they're a really good team. So sorry that I picked against them, but well, actually no, they're 5-3 because they won on Thursday night. Again, I don't even be watching these Thursday night games, or I just be falling asleep during them because yeah. But the Jaguars, they get the job done against the Steelers. Congrats on them. The Eagles getting the job done against the Commanders, 38-31. The Eagles are now 7-1, with the Commanders now being at 3-5. Jalen Hurts looked pretty good in this game. 4 touchdowns, 319 yards. DeAndre Swift had a touchdown. A.J. Brown, my goodness gracious. 8 receptions, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. My goodness. If the NFL... What the hell was that? What just happened? What is going on? Are you serious? Did he knock it out of Tyreek's hands and just took it to the house? I'm sorry. We're gonna look at that again. Hold on. Who had the ball? Tyreek had the ball, and he just lost control of the ball and just oh my god. And Edwards, he tossed it. He tossed it to who? Who had it? Cook. Edwards was about to fall with the ball, and then he tossed it to Cook, and then he just took it to the rest. He just took it to the house. That was like a 40, 50-yard play right there, or more than that. All right. Yeah. So the Dolphins, they're down 20-0 in the first half. This game's done. Um, this game's done. Yeah. Congrats on the Chiefs winning this game. The Dolphins, they need to beat a good team for once. They need to beat a good team for once. They can't be playing like this at all. They can't. Like, am I can't. How can I have hope for a team, or how can you say a team is a Super Bowl contending team just because they have such a high flying offense, but they can't even beat a really good team? They got smoked by the Bills, which is okay because it's a divisional game. It is what it is. The Broncos beat the Chiefs. My goodness, after getting their ass whooped like 15 straight times, the Chiefs finally lost to the Broncos. It's like it's bound to happen. Then they lose to the Eagles. Okay, not the Eagles are probably the best team in the NFL right now. Okay, nothing to judge here. And now they're getting cooked by the Chiefs in the first half. It's 21-0. We still have the second half to go, so I get the game's not obviously over, but like I this team needs to win a game against a good team for me to really be like, "Oh, we can do damage in the playoffs. Oh, I actually have trust in this team." No, man. We can't just be beating the goddamn Broncos and the Panthers and the Patriots for so long because yeah, they're dog shit teams. But guess what? They could still beat us at any given day. They could beat us at any given day. We almost lost to the Patriots early in the season. uh what was I talking about on the podcast? All right, AJ Brown. Yeah, before the Dolphins got me pissed off. Yeah. AJ Brown is looking phenomenal. He's looked incredible. He's looked amazing this season. I mean, if the MVP wasn't just a QB award, AJ Brown should definitely be in the conversation for MVP. Um, he's been historic. Same with Tyreek. Both guys have been tearing up the league. So Tyreek, AJ Brown, they deserve MVP credibility. I will give it to them. If the NFL won't, I will give it to them. My goodness, it's just too good. This Eagles team. I mean, again, the Commanders always fight the Eagles pretty evenly. So like it's always a battle when they go up against each other. But the Eagles, man, they got the win. That's all that matter. The defense is good, but I kind of want a little bit more from that defense, a little from here on out. But their offense was incredible. Speaking of offensive battles, or at least a team that was putting up the points yesterday or last week, the Cowboys, they put up 43 points, beating the Rams 43-20. With the Rams now being at 3-5 and the Cowboys are 5-2. Yeah, the Cowboys 43 points. Dak Prescott looked incredible. 304 yards, 4 touchdowns, INT. Tony Pollard had 12 carries, 53 yards. CeeDee Lamb, my goodness, CeeDee Lamb also had a pretty good game with 2 touchdowns, 12 receptions, 158 yards. I mean, my goodness, they've looked great. The Cowboys have looked good. Again, another team that I won't put them as Super Bowl contenders because they have to beat a really good team in my eyes. Same with the Dolphins at the moment, but good win. They can put up points, and their defense is very, very good. This Cowboys team is very, very good, very good. But the Rams, they just couldn't do much in this one. We'll see what the Rams do this week. Cowboys get the easy win against the LA Rams. Next game, we got the Vikings beating the Packers 24-10. Packers are not good, man. They have They have looked like dog shit. 4-4. The Vikings are now 4-4 with the Vikings now 2-5 with the Packers. Excuse me, now 2-5. Yeah, Packers are in trouble, man. Jordan Love needs to figure it out. 229 yards, a touchdown, interception. Not much looking good for the Packers. So they gotta figure things out quickly. Kirk Cousins, however, unfortunately got hurt, tore his Achilles, I believe, and he's going to be out for the rest of the season. So, yeah, their backup quarterback is going to be who? Jaron Hall. He had 23 yards, 3 for 4 in the last game. Cam Akers had his first touchdown as a Minnesota Viking, so that's good for him on that behalf. But I don't know, are the Vikings doomed? I feel like they could still compete, maybe, but Kirk Cousins, man, he's had a great season so far statistically. Yeah, the wins maybe have not been, the season has been very roller coaster for the Vikings, but Kirk Cousins has been putting up points and stats, and he was tying with Tua for like the most passing yards and passing touchdowns before he got hurt. So that just sucks for Kirk Cousins. Hopefully, his recovery. We're wishing for a speedy recovery and this and that. I believe he already got surgery a couple of days ago. I saw a picture that he was out of surgery. So yeah, the Vikings, let's see what they can do this week against the Falcons. I believe they play against the Falcons this week. I believe. Speaking of the Falcons, they lose to the Titans 28-23. What did I say? What did I say? Ryan Tannehill is not the guy. Mike Vrabel must have saw my podcast or my last episode and saw that I told this motherfucker to put in Will Levis. And what did Will Levis do? He put up 4 passing touchdowns, 238 yards in his first start. He looked amazing. He looked amazing. For the Mayo Man, the man who puts mayonnaise in his coffee like a motherfucker, decided to do this against the Atlanta Falcons. I may not want to be around this man when he's drinking his own supply of coffee, but my goodness, he had a crazy game against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, again, the Falcons, they're not the craziest team, so I'm not going to look too much into it. This motherfucker, Will Levis and DeAndre Hopkins, they connected for 3 touchdown passes. 3 passing touchdowns for Will Levis. 3 touchdowns for DeAndre Hopkins. He got his first 3 touchdowns with the Titans in this game. Will Levis looked incredible. Taylor Heineke had a touchdown and made things interesting. Bijan Robinson had a touchdown as well. And I think the Falcons are going to be sticking with Taylor Heineke. Thank you. Because they should also get rid of Desmond Ridder. Let Taylor Heineke cook. Let Will Levis cook. Let's put Ryan Tannehill. Let's put Desmond Ridder there. Maybe we can still have Malik Willis there. I haven't given up on Malik Willis yet. But let's keep testing Will Levis. Now, obviously, we'll get to that Thursday Night Football game, which was Levis' second game of the season. But we'll get there. But still, great game for Tennessee. Finally, now the Titans fan actually have hope. They have hope now. I mean, it's a great thing to see. It's a great thing to watch. Next, we got the Falcons. Not the Falcons. What am I talking about? The Patriots losing to the Dolphins as now we're officially their daddy. We beat the Patriots already twice this season, and we're going to be doing that more in the future. Mac Jones, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 3 touchdowns for Tua. Did I just say 3 for Tua? Excuse me. Tua had 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and we got the win. Won by 14 points, 31-17. Patriots are the Patriots of the current Patriots, not the old Patriots. Of course, the old Patriots would have whooped our ass, or honestly, not even, because the Dolphins always gave the Patriots a hard time, even when the Patriots had Tom Brady. He used to hate playing against the Dolphins because even Brady had his tough times against the Dolphins. But still, we don't lose to the Patriots at home, so that was a good win for Miami. We're 6-2. I'm not feeling good right now after what the hell I just watched that first half. We'll see what they can do in the second half of this Chiefs game. They got shut out. They haven't scored a single point yet. The best team when it comes to offense, they're the most explosive offense this entire season. The Miami Dolphins, rushing, running, dragging. It doesn't matter how they run the ball, pass the ball, get the ball. They've been unstoppable, and they just got shut out in the first half. Let's pray that we turn up the jet in that second half, because the Jets, not the Jets, the Chiefs are cooking us right now, 21-0. So let's step it up, please. Thank you. Saints get the win against the Colts, 38-27. 2 touchdowns for Taysom Hill and for Derek Carr. Had a bounce back win for the Saints after that embarrassing, couple drives that they had against the Jaguars, and they got the best out of the Colts, which Gardner Minshew, 2 touchdowns, an interception. John Taylor had 12 carries, 95 yards. He had pretty good game overall as well. Let me just check right there. 40 minutes. Okay, we got 20 more minutes left to go, so we're good. We got enough time. Yeah, the Saints, they got the job done. I honestly don't know much about this game. I didn't really watch much of this game. So, yeah, congrats on the Saints coming back and winning this game. The Texans, they lose to the Panthers, meaning that the Panthers, they get their first win of the season. Yes, congratulations. Yay. The Panthers, they win their first game of the year. They're now 1-6. Bryce Young finally gets his first NFL win, 15-3. Oh, no, excuse me, 15-13. Yeah, a touchdown for Bryce Young, 235 yards. He's been looking a lot better and better. Chuba Hubbard is back in this game, 15 carries, 28 yards. Adam Thielen has looked pretty good as well this season. The Texans were struggling offensively. Couldn't get much on the field. They couldn't even score a touchdown, I believe, in this game. It was not great. It was not. Actually, no, they did have a touchdown in the second quarter. It was a bunch of rushing touchdowns. It was an Andrew Beck 1-yard rushing touchdown, and then of course C.J. Stroud rushing touchdown. But a bunch of field goals in that second half for the Panthers, eventually winning it on a game-winning field goal by Eddie Pinheiro. So congratulations on the Panthers. They're now 1-6. Do they still want to be tanking for Caleb Williams? I don't know. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be. Why are they going to give up on Bryce Young so early at this point? Like, let's just give let's give him some time, please. Thank you. Browns losing to the Seattle Seahawks 24-10. This was a pretty gritty win for the Seahawks. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for Geno Smith. Philip Rivers or PJ Walker. Why did I say Philip? I said Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers. Yep, he is retired. And he is with his 27 children at home. He is not playing football right now. PJ Walker, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. And then Kareem Hunt also had 55 yards, 14 carries, and a touchdown as well. Seahawks offensively looked great, and even defensively, they looked pretty well. The Seahawks are a pretty dangerous team in the NFL. So let's keep them in check, because the Seahawks are a pretty dangerous team. Browns, defensively, we should also be looking out for them. Why has it not updated the Germany game for some reason? It's 21-0 at the half, but we'll see. Next, we got Bengals-Niners. The Bengals have been clicking up on all cylinders. They've looked great these past couple weeks. They got the win against the 49ers, and the Niners have been collapsing. They were 5-0. And now they lost 3 straight games. Brock Purdy, I think his insanity run is over. I think the Niners should be questioning. Should they now turn their backs on Brock Purdy now? I know Deebo Samuel has been out, but Christian McCaffrey's still been there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is a 49ers team that, again, people are saying that if he's a system quarterback, he can work with the weapons that he has. He's just missing Deebo Samuel, and even though Deebo Samuel is a great part of that offense, you still have George Kittle. You still have fucking Christian McCaffrey. You still have a bunch of guys on offense that could carry you. And also, did I not just also forget that they have one of the best defenses in the NFL, and they also are missing Trent Williams. But guess what? That doesn't matter. You still have guys there, but he's just turning the ball over, and he's making too many mistakes. If he's making too many mistakes, and he's just not playing well, the Niners are not going to – if their quarterback is not playing well, the Niners are not going to achieve much success. Jimmy G made it to the goddamn Super Bowl. His mediocre ass made it to the Super Bowl, but they lost to the Chiefs. They almost won that goddamn game. Why? Because their defense was god tier. Their offense was electric. And that's because he didn't make that many mistakes that season. And when he did, it would be in, garbage time. It wouldn't really even matter that much. Niners are now in a 3-game losing streak after looking unbeatable. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting how the Niners are gonna adjust. They're on a bye week this week, so they much needed this bye week and see how they can regroup next week, because this was not it, man. This is not it. They need to figure things out. They are a lot better than a 5-3 team. The first 8 games of the season, they should not be 5-3. They should be better than this. Bengals, I mean, even same thing with the Bengals, 4-3, but at least, again, they had a slow start to the season. Joe Burrow with that injury, with that calf injury, just didn't look great. Didn't look like himself. But now they're picking up the pace. Now they're looking a lot better. So the Bengals, they get a big, much needed win against the 49ers. My goodness, your eyes do not deceive you. The Chiefs, they lost to the Broncos 24-9. Mahomes looked terrible. That's all I gotta say. Mahomes, the best quarterback in the NFL, looked terrible. He looked like a human being. He didn't look like an absolute machine. He didn't look like an absolute unit. He looked like a human being. And to be honest with you, this is not even on Mahomes' fault. All 100% of it, at least. Russell Wilson was cooking. My goodness, for the love of God, he was actually cooking. The Broncos, let's ride. You know what? They were riding this game for sure. They were cooking and all. They were cooking. Offensively, 3 touchdowns. They only allow 9 points to the Chiefs. To the Chiefs? To the team that just won the Super. Yep. They finally spoke. They finally decided they've had enough of this. They've lost 15 straight games to the Chiefs. They didn't want to make it 16 straight. They had enough of the Chiefs kicking their ass every single year, twice a year. That wasn't going to happen. Sunday finally said, "No, this is going to be your moment. You're still a dog shit team, but you got a big win against the Chiefs. We'll give it to you. Watch the Broncos. They allow 50 points the next game. But they beat the Chiefs, and that's all that matters. We're not taking this Broncos team seriously. We're not doing that. But a win is a win. They got the job done against the Chiefs. And it's a divisional game, so of course, it's always going to be close and this and that, but it didn't look like that for the last 15 times they played. So we would have just assumed, most people assumed, it was going to be the same thing. Oh, the Chiefs are going to come into Denver and they're going to whoop their ass. And well, that didn't happen. Also, the Chiefs offense, they need more pass catchers. They need more than just Travis Kelce. They need more than just Rashid Rice and Isaiah Pacheco as their running back. They need more guys because Kadarius Toney, Jared McKinnon, McCole Hardman, solid. They need more guys. Noah Gray, he doesn't even get that many targets. Sky Moore, what the hell happened to Sky Moore? He's been terrible. Scanley Jr. barely gets any, receptions or any yards. Justin Watson, I don't know much about Justin Watson. I don't know. But yeah, it's just basically Kelce and Rashid Rice. And then Mahomes has 17 minutes to throw the football, but nobody's open. So it's like the opposite. He has all the time in the world to throw the ball, but no one's open because they're always triple teaming or double teaming Kelce, putting him on a guard, and they just never figure things out. They have to run the ball. Mahomes has to fucking throw a heave, and the game plan just did not work for the Chiefs in this one. So yeah, we'll have to see how that happens. Broncos, good win, but my goodness, I never want the Chiefs to play like that ever again because that's not how the Chiefs play normally. Ravens, they defeat the Cardinals 31-24, 6-2. The Ravens are now 6-2, and the Cardinals are 1-7. Lamar Jackson 1 touchdown. Gus Edwards, he had 19 carries, 80 yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. So of course the run game was all over the place for the Ravens. And the Ravens, they're a serious team. They're a dark horse. Super Bowl contenders. Yes, Super Bowl contenders. Because they've beaten some good teams. They whooped the Lions' ass a couple weeks ago. And yes, I know the Lions are not the biggest test of postseason success because the Lions have been dog water for so long, and now they're actually a good team. So I know that the Lions are not the standard of of a team that they should, that it's like, whoa, if you beat them in the playoffs, it's like a big sign. I get it. But they have Lamar Jackson. Oh, do we just forget that he won MVP like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, or something like that? No. Lamar Jackson is still that guy. The Ravens defense is still top tier. And the Cardinals are dog shit. End of story. Next game, we got the Sunday night football game that nobody wanted to watch but still ended up watching. The Bears losing to the Chargers 30-13. Yeah. Well, at least the Chargers didn't blow this one. Justin Herbert, 3 touchdowns, 298 yards. Tyson Badgett, 2 interceptions, 232 yards as well. Yeah, not much to say there. Austin Heckler, 29 yards, 15 carries. Yeah, the Chargers, they actually smoked the Bears. They actually played really well. The Bears, Tyson Badgett, it's all right, buddy. You know, you had a couple good games already. You had a good game against the Raiders. You had a bad game against the Chargers. So we'll see how we do it this game. I don't have much hope for the Bears. The Bears are still not a great team. You know, they allow a lot of points. Their defense is not that great. Chargers, however, finally, Justin Herbert looked good. The Chargers actually had a complete game, offense and defense, both sides of the ball. So that's good to go. Good to go for the Chargers. They need to play like that more consistently. And then finally, we had the Monday Night Football game between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Detroit Lions. The Lions getting the win, 26-14. Jimmy Garoppolo looked like dog water, so he got benched. Josh Jacobs, a touchdown, 15 carries, 61 yards, did his thing. Jahmyr Gibbs, finally he had his breakout game, 26 carries, 152 yards, and a touchdown. Jared Goff had 272 yards, a touchdown interception right there. An easy little pick six that it was a Marcus Peters pick six, interception return, whatever. Doesn't matter because that the Raiders, that's how they were able to get some points on the board because they were struggling against the Lions, especially their running defense. Jahmyr Gibbs was torturing the Raiders. And yeah, the Raiders are just an abysmal organization at the moment, just figuring out things. Devontae Adams, he is frustrated, as he should, because he's not getting enough targets. And he's literally, like, this is unacceptable. 1 reception for 11 yards. Jimmy, this is a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL. And you're giving this motherfucker 1 reception? You're not giving this man enough targets? Unfucking believable. But even better news. Yes, they lost. Yes, it was an abysmal performance for the Raiders. Yes, Devontae Adams is pissed that he's even in this position now because he thought Derek Carr was going to still be here and he was going to have a field day, and last season wasn't the best proof of that, but still. And Jimmy G has not worked out at all. And he's getting benched. He's not even playing this week. Aiden O'Connell is going to be the starting quarterback for the Raiders this week because Jimmy G is off the bench. He's staying there for as long as we know. But they finally fired Josh McDaniels, their head coach, because my goodness, he's arguably have been the worst head coach this entire fucking season long. Him and Brandon Staley are 2 head coaches that need to get fired, and we got one of them out of the business. I'm not a Raiders fan, but my goodness, Josh McDaniels was not the guy for the Raiders head coaching position. Could have stuck to being a coordinator, offensive or defensive coordinator. Maybe he could have stayed in another positional coach, but not the head coach because he was not the guy. He was not the guy. Not the guy. So that was on Halloween that they reported the news that he's out of Oakland. So now their new head coach is what's his name again? Let me look at it. But the new head coach for the Raiders, um, Raiders head coach, new head coach. What is it now? I forgot his name. He had like a speech, like an introduction. Antonio Pierce. Antonio Pierce is now the new head coach for the Raiders, and I mean during his like press conference, like introduction speech, he looked fired up. He looked like he's been a live and die Raiders fan. Like he grew up on the Raiders. Like this is his team. Like he's gonna fucking tear shit up. He's gonna make a difference. He's gonna change the culture with the Raiders. Like you heard the speech and you're like, whoa, maybe he's actually gonna do something. Maybe he actually gives a fuck about this organization. Maybe he's gonna actually make some damage. So his first game is gonna be today, against the Giants at 4:25. So he's gonna be making his head coaching debut. Shouldn't be too much to get ahead of ourselves, even if they do win, because it's the Giants. I feel like most college football teams can beat the New York Giants. So I don't think it's going to take much to beat the Giants today, but we'll see. And Daniel Jones, I think he might be back in this game. Doesn't matter. Daniel Jones, Tyrod Taylor, maybe comes. Is he still injured? He's because that's why they had to put in Tommy DeVito. Again, Tommy DeVito. Who is that guy? I did not know who that guy was until literally last week, and I saw that he had -9 passing yards. That's where I first heard of his name. Yeah, that's that. So we'll see what happens. All right, week 9 picks. Oh my goodness. Let me just hold on. Give me a second, guys. All right. All right. Steelers beat the Titans. I didn't watch this game, so to be honest with y'all, I'm not even gonna recap what happened. Kenny Pickett had a touchdown pass. Derrick Henry had a touchdown. Will Levis didn't have a great game. Steelers defense did their job. They put up 20 points, and yeah, they did their thing. The Steelers are now 5-3. Dolphins pick it up. I had the Dolphins winning against the Chiefs, and now they're down by 21 points at halftime. Please pick it up, please, for the love of God. Jesus, thank you. All right, Vikings, Falcons. Who do I got? Both 4-4. Kirk Cousins is out for the season. Taylor Heineke is in for the starting quarterback for the Falcons. I feel more comfortable with the Falcons, so I'm gonna go with the Atlanta Falcons. Who do you got, Vikings or Falcons?
Vikings.
You got the Vikings. That's yeah. You got the Vikings. All right. Low bro has the Vikings and big bro has the Falcons. We'll see how that goes. All right. Cardinals Browns. All right. Let's do it in this order actually. Bears Saints. Bears Saints. Derek Carr had a pretty good game last week, and the Bears are the Bears. Give me the Saints. Saints or Bears? Saints. All right. So we both agree on that. We're not big fans of the Chicago Bears here. Rams Packers. 3-5 Packers. 3-5 Rams versus the 2-5 Packers. I'm leaning more to the Packers. Why? Because I don't know why. Because the Packers have not been good. They've been dog shit. But the Rams, they've also not looked good these past couple weeks, but this could be a bounce back game for the Rams. It's going to be tough. It's going to be in Lambeau Field, so it's going to be a tough environment for them to get the win. But do I still want to pick the Rams here? Fuck it. You know what? I'm going to go with the Packers. Who do you got? Rams, Packers? Rams? Okay, so you're going to go with the favorite here. I'm going to go with the underdog, even though they're at home. And the Packers, yeah, maybe they just got to figure things out. All right, next we got the Commanders and the Patriots. Commies, Patriots. Ew. Gross. Three and who do I honestly have no idea who I really want to pick here. I mean, like just the Commanders, I guess. Who do they play last week against? Who did they play last week? The Eagles. I forgot. Yes, yes, yes. They always play tough against like the divisional games. Against the Eagles, of course. Against the Giants, even, but they still lost that game somehow. The Commanders are just a weird team. They go toe to toe with the Eagles, but they lose to the Giants and they lose to the Bears. You know, I don't get it, bro. It's a weird thing. Um, but the Patriots, they beat the Bills. That was a pretty big win for the Patriots, but they got smoked by the Dolphins. You know what? Patriots. Just give me Washington. Who do you got? Commanders or Patriots? Commanders. All right. I was gonna give the Patriots the benefit, but you know what? I'm just not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Fuck that. No, thank you. Seahawks Ravens. This should be a pretty good game. My goodness, Seahawks. Both teams are actually no. The Ravens are 6-2, and the Seahawks are 5-2. The Seahawks look pretty good. The Ravens look pretty good. This could be a playoff game. This could be a playoff game. I'm stupid. This is not a playoff game unless it's the Super Bowl. This could be a Super Bowl game because the Chiefs. Not the Chiefs. The Seahawks are in the AFC. The Chiefs are in the Ravens are in the AFC, and the Seahawks are in the NFC. So obviously they can't play unless they're in the Super Bowl. But this Chiefs game is stressing me out. That's why they're stuck in my head right now, and they're obviously on offense right now. The second half just started a couple minutes ago. 3rd and 8 for the Chiefs. Mahomes at the 25. Let's see what happens here. Let me just hold on. We already passed the 1 hour mark for sure. We're at an hour and 2 minutes in. Doesn't matter. Well, it's okay. We still got time. All right, Mahomes lays back in the pocket. There's a flag on the field. He's running for his life, but he gets the first down. All right. Okay, but back to the Seahawks Ravens game. This should be really good though. This is gonna be a pretty good game. I'm a little bit more leaning on the Ravens. The Ravens I like this Ravens team, man. They're a good ass team. Injuries are the only thing that have just killed them these past couple seasons. It's just injuries and just certain players just not having their best games at the certain times. But other than that, like this team is a really good team, dude. And the Seahawks are pretty good, but they've had some ups and downs. Offensively, especially in the red zone, when they're in the red zone, there's no guarantee that they're going to actually score once they're in 20 yards from scoring a touchdown. The red zone offense has not been amazing. They don't really average that much offensively. They don't have a good percentage, again, getting in the red zone and scoring, while the Ravens, both sides of the football, running the ball can kill you, passing the ball can kill you, their defense can kill you. So there's a lot to offer there. So I'm going to go with the Ravens. Who do you got, Seahawks or Ravens? Ravens. My good. What are we doing? We just let Mahomes. He fell short. It's a 4th down. But Mahomes was just running, just moving around the pocket. He went like he just ran for 16 yards. He was just all that open space. And what is this guy doing here? He's all this open space. Oh my goodness. He has a whole backyard to himself. Well, they're going to still punt it because, it's 4th and 2. All right, anyways. Yeah, give me the Ravens to beat the Seahawks. All right, next game. We got the Buccaneers going up against the Houston Texans. They both have the same record. They're both 3-4. The Texans, they lost to the Panthers, so not the best of loss there. And the Buccaneers, they just lost to who? Who did they just lost to? They lost to the Bills. Oh, right. But it was on Thursday night. They've had a almost 2 weeks of rest and stuff from playing that game. So maybe the Buccaneers will come a little bit more hungry in this game, or not. Give me the Texans. Who do you got, Buccaneers or Texans? Buccaneers. All right. Yeah, do you still like the Buccaneers, dude? even though Tom Brady's not the quarterback and they have Baker midfield. Well, we'll see what the Buccaneers do. My goodness. Cardinals, Browns. Give me the Browns. The Browns are just the Browns. They're the Browns. No, I'm kidding. The Browns are a pretty good team. Their defense is oof. They're fucking out of there. They're ridiculous. Their defense is out of this world, but their offense, they can put up points, but it has to If they put up 40 points, half of those points is from the defense alone. The offense cannot score 40 points just from their offense themselves. If they score 45, 50, half of it's from the defense. Half of it's from interceptions. Half of it's from pick six, fumble recoveries, turn into interceptions, safeties, whatever. Like defense is riding the team, is controlling this team, is the meaning, is the definition of the Cleveland Browns. That's the heart and the soul of this Browns team, is their defense. And the Cardinals are just they're just the Cardinals. They're just no one expected this team to be good this year. Tyler Murray, he should be back in the next couple of weeks. He's missed, a good amount of time. He's missed since the beginning, since like the middle portion of last season. So he should be back soon enough. But Cardinals or Browns, what do you got? Browns, all right. Yep, that defense should do enough. Also, still shocking to me how the Cardinals defeated the Cowboys. That's just that's just the NFL, guys. Yeah, that's just how it works. Colts versus the Panthers. So the Panthers, they got their first win of the season last week. They're 1-6, and now the Colts 3-5. Honestly, I could see the Panthers winning this game, winning their second straight game. They finally have a little bit of momentum now that they finally know that they're not going to go 0-17 this season. They actually won a game. They actually can ride some momentum. Bryce Young has looked a lot better every single week. I think on the TikTok, I may have said I did a TikTok already, making my week 9 picks. I don't even remember if I picked the Panthers or the Colts because I'm kind of going back and forth. You know what? Give me the Panthers. Give me the Panthers. Why not? Let me play around today. Let me just get the Panthers are going to win their second straight game. Why not? After going 0-6, they're on a winning streak now. They won 2 straight. Who do you got? Panthers or Colts? Panthers? Oh, okay. Sweet. That's the underdog pick. So we'll see what happens there. We'll see. Carolina, I'm rooting for y'all now. Now that y'all actually have a win in your record now, let's see what y'all can do. All right, next we got the Giants and the Raiders. I'm not even going to take too long with this. I'm picking the Raiders. The Giants, abysmal, terrible, garbage. I don't even want to watch this game, to be honest. But give me the Raiders. Raiders or Giants?
Raiders.
Yep. The Giants are the what? They're not even that good. They're just I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to describe it. They're just unwatchable. I guess they're just unwatchable. Next, we got the Cowboys and the Eagles. Man, this is gonna be a fun game to watch. This is gonna be a stressful game. I'm not gonna lie. The Eagles, we always split with the Cowboys. We either win one game, whether it's at home, or we win on the road against the Cowboys in Dallas. We're gonna be playing at home in this game. We're gonna see what happens in this one. Cowboys, Eagles. Of course, I'm gonna always pick the Eagles. Yeah, I'll pick the Eagles at home. We're gonna still prove that we're the best team. We're still gonna prove that we're the best team in the NFL. The Cowboys, yes, they're a great team, and they're gonna push us. The Commanders always push us, so the Cowboys are always gonna give us the test. And Dak Prescott looked phenomenal last week, so it's gonna be a pretty good, interesting game to watch. But we'll see what happens here. Cowboys or Eagles? What do you got?
Dude.
He has the Cowboys winning it. Nah, I'm kidding. Yeah, we got the Eagles, but Cowboys. Hey man, their defense is serious, but our offense is also serious. So AJ Brown might have a great game as well. Bills Bengals. So this is finally gonna happen. Bills Bengals in the regular season. Finally, Sunday Night Football. I'm excited to watch this game. This was a primetime game that was obviously canceled months ago, early in the year, obviously to what happened to Damar Hamlin, right? And I think he's coming back and he's going to be playing in this game. So it's going to be interesting to watch. This Bills Bengals, game that happened last year in Cincinnati. Obviously, the last time this game, it didn't even wrap up. We were all worried about Damar Hamlin's health and this and that, and now we're gonna actually watch this game unfold like what was supposed to happen earlier this year in the season. But none of that's in the past. He's fine and he's playing in this game. So, we're in the current day and nothing's gonna happen in this one. But not trying to jinx anything or just whatever. Bills Bengals though. Who do I got winning this game though? I think I'm gonna pick the Bengals for this one. I think the Bengals, they've looked a lot more sharp this past couple weeks. The Bills are kind of up and down. They're not a bad team, obviously. They're a fearful team. But I think right now I trust the Bengals a little bit more. Who do you got, the Bills or the Bengals?
Bills.
You got the Bills. Okay. You got the Bills winning their 6th game of the season. I got the Bengals winning their 5th. All right. And then finally, Monday Night Football, Chargers and the Jets. So the Chargers, once again, get another primetime game against Jesus, dude. All right. Well, it is what it is. If the Chargers played the way that they played last week against the Bears, they could absolutely demolish the Jets for sure. But the Jets defense is also very it's also very difficult to obtain. So I don't think this is going to be an easy game for the Chargers. Their defense is going to definitely be holding them off a bit. Their offense, again, Zach Wilson is their quarterback. They're not going to do much offensively. They don't got Aaron Rodgers. They don't got the guy. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the Jets to figure something out. But if their defense can prevail, if Brandon Staley and cooks up one of the dumbest, if he makes another dumb decision making, clock management, type of late in the game shenanigans, if he just pulls something out of his ass and just, if he could do something like that, then maybe the Chargers bound to lose another game in prime time. But I think I'm going to be more lenient to the Chargers. I trust the Chargers a little bit more than the Jets, which is kind of weird to say because the Chargers are a bunch of chokers, but maybe they can actually obtain this. I don't know. The Jets beat the goddamn Eagles. At this point, should I even pick the Jets? No, I'm going to pick the Chargers. Why not? I'm going to pick the Chargers. All right, Chargers, Jets. Who do you got? Wait, hold on. Oh, that's a touchdown. Finally, we're on the board. Jesus. Oh, it was about time. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Who was that? That was Cedric Wilson Jr. Oh, my God. I thought my goodness. It took us like almost 40 minutes to score a touchdown. It took us like 40 minutes to score a touchdown. Wow. Wow, that was a great throw by Tua though. Man, good location. And Cedric got him right down where he wanted. Wow. Okay, finally, we're on the board. We're down by what, 14? If we can make the extra point. Yep, we're down by 14. All right. I need Tyreek to score a touchdown, though. I need Tyreek to get a touchdown in this game, please. Thank you. Yeah, who do you got? Chargers, Jets? I got the Chargers. Chargers? Okay. And yeah, those are my week 9. Those are mine and my brother's week 9 picks for this week. This should be a fun week. I mean, we got some pretty good games. Obviously, now with why is this shit still not updated? I don't know. We got some big games this week. Obviously, Dolphins, Chiefs right now. The Seahawks Ravens going to be a big game. Then the Cowboys Eagles, Bills Bengals is actually a fun Sunday night football game to watch. Tomorrow's Chargers Jets game might be interesting. I don't even know. Also, next week we'll have another Germany game. It will be the Colts and the Patriots. Not going to be probably as exciting as this one, but you never know. You never know. All right, those are my week 9 picks. So let me make it okay. Let me update a little bit on like what's going on here. So yeah, right now I'm 78 and 45 with my picks. So I've gotten 78 right, 45 wrong. I got the Titans Steelers game wrong because I had the Titans beating the Steelers, but I got that wrong. The Dolphins, obviously I got them beating the Chiefs, but that's not looking too great right now. So let me repeat my week 9 picks. So I got the Falcons beating the Vikings, the Browns beating the Cardinals, the Packers beating the Rams, the Commanders beating the Patriots, the Saints defeating the Bears, the Ravens defeating the Seahawks, the Texans defeating the Buccaneers, the Panthers defeating the Colts, the Raiders defeating the Giants, the Eagles defeating the Cowboys, the Bengals defeating the Bills, the Chargers defeating the Jets. All right, now let me recap fantasy football. So right now, currently, I'm 4-3. I lost last week. Yep, didn't look great. Now, I'm losing right now in fantasy, 28-5. I'm expected to still lose, but by like 7 points right now. My opponent is projected to get 120 points, while I'm projected to get 113.4. I'm facing against Mahomes and Tyreek Hill right now. So yeah, that's obviously not looking good. Raheem Mostert only has 14 yards. So that's not doing much at all for me right now. Yeah, but we it's still early, so we'll see what fantasy holds up. I'm 4-3. My opponent is 6-1. He's the top god. He's the top dog. Ill. Should I even say that? I'm literally called the top dogs. I don't even want to call him the top dog. But right now he is the top dog at 6-1. He has the best record in the whole league at the moment. So if I could take him down this week, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be a big win. The playoff bracket at the moment is me versus him in the winners bracket as the 4th seed. I would make it as the 4th seed, and he'll make it as the 1st seed, obviously. So yeah, I'm still looking for it, but I gotta get a win, man. I gotta get at least like 7, 8 wins. I can get it. How many games do I have left? Let me check my schedule. So I have 5 games. So I have this game next week, and then week 11 I have a bye, and then I have 3 games, week 12, 13, and 14, and then the playoffs. The fantasy playoffs is gonna be week 15 and 16. So and also is it week 17 as well? No, it's gonna only be week 15 and 16. So yeah, 4-3 in fantasy. Hopefully I get my 5th win this week. Oh, let me do my top 5 players, top 5 teams, top 5 bums of the week. All right, top 5 teams in week 8. Honorable mention. Let me take this off. Honorable mention. I got the Chiefs at number 6 and the Seahawks at number 7. Now, my top 5 teams in week 8. So this is before week 9, finishes. The Lions at number 5, the Dolphins at number 4, the Jaguars at number 3, the Ravens at number 2, and the Eagles at number 1. So those are my top 5 teams in week 8. So we'll see what happens in week 9. And then, we're going to probably mix things around a little bit. Top 5 players of the week. Honorable mentions goes to Justin Herbert, had a good game against the Bears. Russell Wilson had a phenomenal game against the Chiefs. Bryce Young winning his first career game. So congrats to Bryce Young there. Tyreek Hill all season long has been dominating. A.J. Brown all season long has been cooking. So again, honorable mention to A.J. Brown and Tyreek as well. Jalen Hurts as well, been cooking. He's had some bad games, but this week he was cooking against the Commanders. Now my top 5 players of the week. Derek Carr looked great at number 5 there. Jahmyr Gibbs at number 4. Phenomenal breakout game against the Raiders on Monday Night Football. And number 3 at Tua. Looked good against the Patriots. Looked great enough. Will Levis at number 2. Looked incredible. Looked like fucking prime Patrick Mahomes, prime Tom Brady out there with fucking DeAndre Hopkins, who also people were saying was washed. He's not going to do anything in Tennessee. And he got 3 touchdowns from him. Looked amazing. And the best player of the week, my goodness, I have to say it, but I'm gonna have to give it to Dak Prescott for cooking the Rams. Yeah, I might have to give it to the goddamn. Yeah, I might have to give it to the goddamn fucking to Dak Prescott. He was the best player of Week 8 in my opinion. So that's that. Now the top 5 bums, which I'm gonna incorporate just teams. I'm not gonna call out individual players, but still, the Chiefs for losing to the Broncos. That's an honorable mention. The Raiders, my goodness, what the hell was that against the Lions? My goodness. The 49ers losing to the Bengals, losing 3 straight games. Brock Purdy, step the fuck up, dude. The Giants, my goodness, what the hell was that? The Miami Hurricanes are playing better at this point. I don't know what else to say. The Green Bay Packers, no. And the Rams for losing, getting destroyed by the Cowboys. Yeah, that was not supposed to happen, dude. That was not supposed to happen, dude. Um, yeah, yeah. What's going on here? All right, I believe that's it. Yeah. There's still things that I have on the episode, but I think I'll talk about on the next episode on Tuesday. So I'll wait for that to wrap up. But thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Yeah, it's Sunday morning. This game's still getting on my nerves. We're still down by 14. The Dolphins' offense has not been cooking this game so far, but I'm excited to watch all Week 9 games. And of course, if you guys like this episode, of course, go follow my YouTube channel, the Versalility Podcast on YouTube. As well, I'm going to be putting out more content with NBA reactions. The in-season tournament started last Friday, and there's highlights that I still haven't uploaded on YouTube, so I will be uploading those soon. Other reaction videos, other things to put out, tier list, other content to do. I was going to do a couple album reaction videos because I haven't done one in like a month already, and I was going to do one with the Bad Bunny album, but I already heard the album, so I'm not going to do that one. There's still a couple albums I'm still haven't heard yet that I might do a reaction to it, but it's the website that I used to record it is tripping. Is not it's something's fucking going wrong. So I gotta fix that. I gotta see what's going on with that. And also got to do a couple things in between. But more content is coming soon, guys. I promise. More content is coming soon. I should also be uploading more on TikTok. I haven't done that much throughout the whole regular season, but I always do my weekly picks every single week. So that's one thing that I have been doing. But maybe I should be actually recapping the rest of the games. I might be doing that from here on out till the rest of the season is done. So we'll see what happens there. But thank you guys for watching. See you guys in a bit. Take care and peace out, my friends.